Today, I'm going to show you a really powerful way to use the quick fix list and macros together in Neovim to up your game and help you become a rockstar developer. First, let's understand what a macro is and how to use them. A macro is a way to record a set of actions and play back those actions as needed. This can be any sort of Vim motions or changes that you would normally make while editing text. For instance, let's say I needed to add a CSS class to certain divs. You can manually move around the file and make this change on every line that you need to, but that could be very time-consuming. Instead, we're going to do the same thing with a macro. First, start recording the macro by pressing the letter Q, followed by a letter A through Z, representing the register where the macro commands will be stored. You will see a message in the status bar indicating recording has started. Next, perform the actions that you wish to repeat on each line. Remember, Neovim will execute the commands in sequence regardless of which line you are on or where you are on that line, so you need to start your commands with something that gets you to the desired start location. In our case, we want to update a specific part of the HTML element, so we first press 0 to jump to the beginning of the line. Next, we press 2F double quote to jump forward to the second double quote. After that, we press A to append in insert mode, followed by space, and then we type our CSS class attribute, followed by escape to exit insert mode. When we are done recording, we press the letter Q again. Now to replay the macro, you navigate to the next line that you want to update and press the @ sign followed by the register letter you chose earlier, in our case, the A register. Look at that! Our changes were made flawlessly with only a couple keystrokes. Repeat this in as many places as you need to. The more you use macros, the better you will get at spotting repeating patterns that can be expedited. Next, let's talk about the quick fix list. The quick fix list is a way to keep track of all of the places that you need to update or fix. First, let's search for something that we need to change across a number of files. We can do this in two ways. The quick way is to use Neovim with the Telescope plugin. This is a very powerful plugin that has a lot of useful search features. See the show notes for more information about Telescope. Don't worry, if you don't have Telescope, I'll show you another way in a minute. With Telescope, the Live grep feature is perfect for this task. Open your Live grep window. For me, this is leader FG, but for you, it may be different, or you can type :telescope live_grep. Here, you can search for a pattern to match in all of the files in your project. Let's say you wanted to add a header and navbar div to all of your HTML files. I want these to appear after the body tag, so that is what I will search for. Once you are happy with the list, press Ctrl-Q to send the results to your quick fix list. If you don't have Telescope, you can type :vimgrep followed by // your pattern another /space followed by a file name or pattern like ****.html. Once the command completes, open the quick fix list with :C open. At this point, regardless of which method you used, your quick fix list is populated. To navigate the list, you can use commands like C first, C next, C previous, and C last. In Neovim, you can also use your normal panel navigation keybinds, which I have set to Ctrl H, J, K, L, and hit Enter when you are on a quick fix entry to jump to that location. Now that we know what the quick fix list is and how to use macros, we're going to use them both together in a really powerful way. There are a handful of commands that work against the quick fix list. See the show notes for a link to this section of the documentation. For today, we are going to look at the CDO command. This command will execute another set of commands against every location in your quick fix list. This can give you a very powerful way to make complex changes across your entire project. Remember how macros allowed us to repeat a sequence of commands from our current location? Well, the following CDO command will allow us to run a macro against every location in the quick fix list. How cool is that? First, let's record a new macro that will add our new header and navbar elements after the body tag on every HTML page. Before we start recording, let's copy the necessary lines into a new register. From Visual Line Mode, Shift-V, select the lines you wish to copy, then press "H to select the H register, then press D to delete. We use delete here instead of yank so that every file can be updated in the same way. Next, start recording by pressing QA. The quick fix list will automatically drop you to the location where the body tag was found, so there is no need to find our body tag as part of the macro itself. Next, press "H" to select the H register and P to paste below the current line. Stop recording by pressing Q again. Undo your changes so that the Quick Fix List macro can act on all files in the same way and doesn't create duplicate entries. Now for the magic! Type :CDO, execute norm space, pipe update. But before you press enter, let's break this down a bit. The CDO command iterates through each entry in the Quick Fix List and executes a sequence of actions. The norm command applies what comes after it in normal mode, with the exclamation mark, ensuring that no custom mappings or abbreviations interfere with the process. The @ followed by the letter A invokes the macro stored in the A register. Finally, the pipe separates the commands, and update saves the changes. Now press enter. Wow! Did you see what just happened? All of our files are now updated with our header and navbar, and all of the updated files are saved. This is just a small sample of what you can do with macros and the Quick Fix List. Subscribe for more Neovim content in the future.